Hello everyone, welcome to my first video on how to photograph flowers. Today I will show you how I photograph this pink stargazer lily. The flower shown here is the final edited version of the stargazer lily. Let's get into it. First, you should always set a goal as to what flower to shoot. In a backyard that has many flowers, I would pick one flower to photograph each day when they are looking their best. Remember, each flower blooms at different times. While I am narrating how I shoot flowers, I will show you a sequence of flowers in my backyard today. Look for a flower when it is in peak bloom, when it is looking the best. Second, once you have picked the flower in bloom, you should decide when to photograph the flower. Ask yourself, when is the light on the flower evenly distributed? I usually shoot in open shade, either before the sun shines directly on the flowers or after the sun goes down. Another good time may be when the sun is behind an object, like a house or a tree. You should always avoid direct sunlight. Direct sunlight will give you an uneven amount of light on the flower, and the high contrast or blown out highlights is not very pleasing. Here are some examples of direct sunlight images. You can always try to use neutral density and polarizer filters to help with the blown highlights, but for best results, try to shoot in open shade or when there is an even light on the flower. Now that we've chosen the flower to photograph, it is a good time to inspect the flower. Are there any bugs on the flower? Any debris such as pine needles or leaf stems stuck anywhere? Here is an example of a flower with a leaf stem that should be removed. Once the image is prepared for shooting, it's time to create the composition. Do we want a horizontal, vertical image, or both? It's a good idea to take as many variations as possible. I usually pick one image and create the horizontal, vertical, and cropped versions. Now set up your camera with the lens to get the composition you are trying to get. For wider shots that include many flowers with leaves, a wide angle of 24 to 35 millimeter or more is fine. Lens manufacturers are making a lot of their lenses with macro capability and add to the versatility of photography. For more specific shots, a 70 to 200 zoom may be the choice for you. Many lens manufacturers have 100 millimeter macro lenses and allow you to get really close. If you have a macro lens, you can get really close to specific areas of the flowers, and we'll get into the world of macro in another video. But for now, subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button below and press the like button. As a subscriber, you can easily view all the videos I put out and will be easy to find as they will all be in one place. We are ready to start taking some images now of the flower you chose. I like to experiment with various apertures or f-stops to see the differences in depth of field. Depending on the lens, if it is a wide angle or telephoto, an aperture of f4 is fine to blur out the unwanted background and provide separation between the subject and the background. Two other things besides f-stop determine how much of the image is in focus, depth of field. First, the focal length of the lens, and second, how close you are to the subject. A 35 millimeter lens will have more depth of field than a 100 millimeter lens. If f4 is not enough depth of field to get the entire flower in focus, then you will need to stop down to f5.6 or f8. Take as many images as you can, so when you review the images in your computer, you can see the depth of field. Having many images to pick from makes it easier to pick a final image. Here are my final shots for the pink stargazer lily. I hope you've enjoyed the short tutorial on photographing a flower. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below, and also press the like button. As a subscriber, you can easily view all the videos I put out and will make them easy to find as they will all be in one place. Thank you for watching. Until next video, happy shooting.